Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing out there today? Hope you all's pre-Memorial Day weekend is doing pretty well. Sorry about me being late. Had to get me a quick walk in. I went down to my local park with my dad. Um, Today, gonna do a quick this week in WWE. And of course, as many of you know, there's a lot going on. Of course, Night of Champions is tomorrow, and then Battleground is Sunday, but also Double or Nothing is Sunday. So a quick, nice little weekend ahead. And don't forget TNA Under Siege is tonight. Um, so yeah, we got a nice little wrestling weekend ahead. And with that being said, I'm gonna go on and we're going to get started here. First topic is who should be Raquel's mystery partner. As many of you know, that Liv Morgan went down with a serious injury, but also Dakota Kai went down with a serious injury. Dakota tore her ACL, so prayers go out to her, and yeah, prayers go out to her. Hope to see her back and better than ever in 2024. Hate to see that happen to anybody, really, when you think about it. So, um, many of you watched Raw, or it might have been Raw or SmackDown, one of the two, but it might have been SmackDown last week that Raquel's partner was revealed as Shotzi Blackheart. And while I like that idea and I'm not against it, I don't love it either. And I'll explain to you why. So I have my notes here as to what I'm going to first. Who should be Raquel's mystery partner? As many of you know, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan were the current WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, but an injury to Liv Morgan forced WWE to vacate the titles, and new champions will be crowned next week on Raw. It will be a fatal four-way between, of course, Rousey and Shayna Baszler, Bayley and Io Sky, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, and Raquel Rodriguez and a mystery partner. Like I said, it was revealed that it was going to be Shotzi as Raquel's new partner. But the question here is who should be Raquel's mystery partner? Well, I have two choices here. Choice one is Piper Niven, is my first choice because ever since she teamed with Eva Marie, she has been severely underutilized and hasn't gotten the proper push. Teaming Piper with Raquel will go a long way in building her character from scratch. The second choice is Aaliyah. Hasn't been on TV in like forever. And here's why: because she has seemingly been off TV for a few months now. And I think she deserves a shot with Raquel. Aaliyah is an underrated talent who has the looks of a high flyer. Her over the top rope style is a matchup nightmare for anyone she faces. If WWE wants to get tactical, Aaliyah would be perfect. So, like I said, Shotzi was revealed as Raquel's mystery partner. Um, I'm not totally against it. I mean, I don't I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I think Shotzi is a great talent, don't get me wrong. And I feel like, she brings a lot to the table as her skill set. But I feel like I felt like Aaliyah would have been the perfect choice, and you know, it would have made a ton of sense here. By the way, this is my new mic, so if you can't hear me, then I apologize. But yeah, I feel like Aaliyah would have made perfect sense here. I just think that you know, her being off TV and not being utilized, I hope she isn't part of the budget cuts that are going to be taking place in July or next month, actually. I don't forgot when it is, but they're going to be doing budget cuts soon. I just hope Aaliyah's name doesn't isn't one of them. But Piper Niven is definitely interesting, because ever since she teamed with Eva Marie, it's kind of like her value has gone just like that. It's going down, and she hasn't been able to recover. And I feel like, with me, Piper Niven could have made more sense. Don't get me wrong. Um, but at the end of the day, ultimately, I thought Shotzi, they felt Shotzi was the right person, was the right pick. And I don't blame them. I'm not totally against it, but I don't love it. But Piper Niven or Aaliyah would have made perfect sense. Roxanne Perez teases a main roster debut. It was revealed last week on NXT that Roxanne Perez could be moving up to the main roster in the near future. I mean, she she is extremely charismatic. She is definitely talented. She's smash mouth in your face, and she just has that it factor about her. And I see her being a future Raw Women's Champion in the future. And I just think that she brings a lot to the table, and she has a lot to offer. So, could we see could we see Roxanne Perez on the main roster, you ask? Last week's episode of NXT, Roxanne did a segment recapping her career in NXT. And this is just a little snippet of what she said. 1 year ago today, 1 year ago today, she says, I entered the NXT breakout tournament. I won a contract went on to become the NXT Women's Champion. Her journey to the NXT Women's Championship began once she won that contract. Then she says, where did the time go? Everything happened so fast. This was just a little bit of what she said, but she teased either Raw or SmackDown. So which brand should she go to? and why. I feel like Monday Night Raw fits per. I feel like Monday Night Raw fits her perfectly because Raw is in desperate need of talent, and I feel like you know they could use a person like a Roxanne Perez. SmackDown wouldn't be a bad choice either, but I feel like you know Monday Night Raw definitely definitely would be perfect for her. I feel like she should go to Monday Night Raw, and here's why. Because Raw's in desperate need of star power, and I feel that she fits what Raw is needing perfectly. She reminds me of a young Rey Mysterio. She has a good mixture of speed, agility, and great aerial moves. Perez would do wonders on Raw. She would take that women's division to heights never before seen. Yeah. So, I mean, you've already got Indy Hartwell over there. I mean, it's a plethora of young talent on Monday Night Raw. Obviously, you have, you know, your heavy hitters like a Charlotte Flair, a Becky Lynch, a what else? Bianca Belair, who, well, no, she's not on Raw anymore. She just got traded to SmackDown. But your Becky Lynch's, your what else? You have some heavy hitters over there, but I think Raw would be smart to build up their young talent, and I think this is a way that you can, you could get a Roxanne Perez in there. I wouldn't mind if we got a Cora Jade. You know what I mean? But I think Roxanne fits the mold of what Raw is looking for. Not to say SmackDown isn't a bad choice, but I just think that Monday Night Raw fits her perfectly, and they could use a Roxanne Perez, and she would fit perfectly on Monday Night Raw. Not of champions predictions. Um, so I'm gonna start off with Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. I'm gonna go Cody Rhodes here, and here's why. Because I just think you don't want to ruin any more of his momentum that he's already built up to this point. It's like ever since WrestleMania, his momentum has slowly been going down the drain. And I hope this isn't a telling sign. Um, I just think, have him go over on Brock Lesnar, and then at Night of Champions, you end this adversity storyline with with Brock Lesnar. That's it. And then your mind should be focused on winning Money in the Bank and finishing the story. I just think, Cody needs this. I mean, Brock winning here would be disastrous. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the new World Heavyweight title. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins here. And I feel like he's a fan favorite, and he hasn't been champion in almost 3 years. And I think it's time that he gets another title run. And this match should be literally still the show. And I feel like him and Joe, and I just think Rollins needs this more than Styles does. Styles wouldn't be a bad choice, but I feel like, Rollins needs this. He needs this. He's worked his butt off, and it could do wonders for him in the future. So I feel like, you know, Rollins needs this. He really does. Sami Zayn and KO versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. I'm gonna go Sami and KO here. I feel like, you know, they just won the titles over a month ago at WrestleMania, and it will be a heartbreak for them to lose them to Roman. Roman winning 4 titles is not a smart move. He already has 2, and he doesn't need any more. I think this is where you really begin to see the bloodline implode on itself and self destruct. And, you know, I just think that the Usos are gonna come out and cost Roman and Solo. So I think that Sammy and KO are gonna win here. And I think the seeds are being planted for Cody and Roman at SummerSlam, and they're slowly building to that. You know, I mean, the reports came out that we could be getting Cody Gunther next year at WrestleMania 40 in a main event. So yeah, but back to the topics at hand. I think Sammy and KO win because you don't just like Cody Rhodes, you don't want to ruin his momentum. You don't want to ruin their momentum. See what else we got here. Um, Gunther versus Mustafa. I'm going to choose Gunther here. I think this match could be highly competitive. I think Ali's going to give it his all. I was going back and forth between Gunther and Ali, but at the end of the day, I'm going to roll with Gunther. A slight nod to Gunther. I think his Intercontinental title run has been great. And I think, his dominance can't be stopped. I don't think in any shape or form that this is going to be a squash match. I think Mustafa's going to give it all he can. But at the end of the day, I think he comes up just short. And he said, and I quote, if I don't win the IC title, then I don't deserve to be here. So, I mean, you know, I feel like Gunther's going to win in a highly competitive match. Mustafa gives it all his all, but Gunther wins. Becky Lynch versus Trish. I'm going Becky Lynch here. I think I think Trish Stratus is biting off a little bit more than she could chew, and I think that Becky's inside of Trish's head, and she's playing mind games with Trish. And I think Trish is a little bit full of herself. And I think that you know, um, Becky's gonna pull this one out, and I think that this could be a decent match. Actually, I don't know why people hating on it and don't like it, but I think Bianca wins here. Bianca versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Title. Oh man, this is another one that I've been going back and forth on. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with Bianca. And I think that Bianca wins here. Although I want Oscar to win, Oscar winning would be a bold move, but a move I think would pay off in the end. But um, I just feel that Bianca's gonna pull this one out, and um, in another highly competitive match, I think Bianca wins here. Well, Oscar winning would definitely be the right way, but I think Bianca's going to win. And finally, for the SmackDown Women's Title, Rhea versus Natty. I think Rhea wins here. I don't think Natty's quite there yet, and I think they need to build up her popularity a little bit, her hype a little bit more. I think she'll get another shot down the road, but I think now it's just Rhea's time. So Rhea wins. Our final question of the day is who should dethrone Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title? So I made a YouTube short about this topic. You can check it out on my channel. I said there's a couple of likely candidates. You have Asuka, Becky Lynch, and Chelsea Green. All these names are talented, but there's one name in which I left off, in which I think should be in consideration, and that's Io Sky. And I will tell you why. Io Sky just put on a banger against Bianca at Backlash a few weeks ago. In my opinion, all the prob all the problems going on with damage control and with the tragic injury to Dakota Kai, it's only fitting that you give Io a solo title run. The way that you would do this is you would wait, hold on. The way that you would do this is you would do this after Night of Champions. You would build up Io and Bianca for SummerSlam. You would continue to tell the story about Io's frustrations within the damage control. This is after damage control. After. You will continue to tell the story about Io's frustrations within damage control. Io feels that Bayley is holding her back from reaching her goals, and she is sick of it. On the following Raw after Money in the Bank, you would see Io and Bayley have a match, and Io would go over on Bayley. Then you would start to build up Bianca and Io for SummerSlam. The way at SummerSlam, you have Io go over on the EST, ending her title reign at SummerSlam. I think it's time you freshen up the division. You freshen up the women's division, and putting the title on Io would be a step in the right direction. Now, of course, many of you know the draft that's coming on. Bianca was traded to SmackDown along with her husband, Montez Ford. And the way you would do this is you would have Io beat, beat, beat Bianca, keeping Bianca on SmackDown and sending Io back to Raw. And that's how I would do it. Honestly, I think that makes sense. And I think that, you know, yeah, it's the right way to go. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And, if you got a question that's on your mind or if you got a comment, please leave it in the chat and I'll look at it the best of my ability with the best of my ability. So, yeah. All right, we got a pretty loaded wrestling weekend ahead. Of course, TNA Under Siege is tonight. Night of Champions is tomorrow. And then, of course, Double or Nothing and NXT Battleground are Sunday. So I hope you enjoy your wrestling weekend. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, God bless.